In the vast, silent ocean of space, a lone traveler drifts between the stars. It's small, almost insignificant against the cosmic scale, but what it carries could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the universe. Astronomers call it 3I ATLA, the third interstellar object ever discovered by humankind. But recent observations from the James Webb Space Telescope have revealed something deeply unsettling. 3I ATLAS is changing course. And that shift seems to be bringing it closer to Earth. To understand why this discovery has sent shockwaves through the scientific community, we have to journey back to where it all began, to the moment we first looked beyond our solar system and realized the void between the stars isn't empty at all. For most of human history, every comet and asteroid we studied shared the same origin story. They were children of our own solar system, born from the same ancient cloud of gas and dust that created our sun and planets. That was our reality until October 2017, when astronomers in Hawaii discovered a strange, cigar-shaped object hurtling through our cosmic neighborhood. They named it Aumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. Aumua wasn't just another rock. It moved too fast, followed a bizarre trajectory, and most strangely, it accelerated as it moved away from the sun without releasing any visible gas or dust like a typical comet would. Theories flew, from it being a fragment of an alien world to a discarded probe from another civilization. We may never know the truth, but one thing was clear: the stars had sent us something. 2 years later, another interstellar traveler came into view, 2I Borisov. This one was a true comet from another star, its icy halo glowing as it neared our sun. And then, in early 2020, astronomers found the third visitor, 3I ATLAS, named after the asteroid terrestrial impact. Last alert system that first spotted it, 3I Atlas, appeared to be a small, inactive comet. It was faint, fast, and like its predecessors, came from deep interstellar space. By 2022, it had faded from view, just another quiet visitor returning to the dark, until now. When the James Webb Space Telescope launched, its mission was epic: to peer deeper into the universe than ever before, studying the first galaxies and distant exoplanets. But in late 2024, astronomers decided to point Webb's golden mirrors at a much closer, much smaller target, 3I ATLAS. At first, it was just supposed to be a calibration test, a way to see how well Webb could track a faint, fast-moving object. But when the data started rolling in, something was wrong. The object wasn't where it was supposed to be. According to all our models, 3I Atlas should have continued on a stable path out of the solar system. But Webb's readings showed a deviation, a subtle but undeniable change in its velocity. In simple terms, it had shifted direction. Astronomers double-checked everything. Could it be an error? A sensor glitch? But every observation confirmed it. The object's course had changed. The big question was, why? In celestial mechanics, even a tiny change in trajectory can have massive consequences over cosmic distances. A 1-degree shift over millions of kilometers could be the difference between escaping into deep space forever and making a close pass by the sun. The deviation of 3I Atlas was minuscule at first, but over several weeks it became statistically certain. Instead of moving steadily away, the object appeared to be curving inward, toward the plane of the inner solar system. The initial explanations were mundane. Maybe it was outgassing ice sublimating into vapor, creating tiny jets that pushed it off course. This was also a theory for Aumuamua. But when Webb examined 3I Atlas in infrared, it found no trace of water, carbon dioxide, or any other volatile molecules. The object appeared completely inert, like a dead rock. Other theories emerged. Could solar radiation pressure be pushing it? That would mean 3I Atlas would need a very large surface area for its mass, almost like a thin sheet or a sail. And that led some to ask an uncomfortable question. What if this is an unnatural object at all? The eerie similarities between 3I Atlas and Aumuamua didn't go unnoticed. Both were interstellar visitors. Both showed strange accelerations, and both lacked the telltale signs of comets. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb had famously proposed that Aumuamua could have been a piece of alien technology, maybe a light sail drifting between stars. The mainstream scientific community was skeptical, preferring natural explanations. But with 3I Atlas now showing similar behavior, the debate has ignited once again. What if interstellar space is filled not just with rocks and ice, but with relics fragments of civilizations long gone, still drifting through the void? Our galaxy is 13 billion years old. In that unimaginable span of time, countless worlds could have risen and fallen, their artifacts cast adrift. If so, 3I Atlas might not be unique. It might just be the first one we've noticed changing its mind. But even if we set aside the more speculative ideas, a profound mystery remains. What physical process could make a seemingly inert object alter its own trajectory so precisely? In February 2025, Webb's Mid-Infrared Instrument, or MIRI, took a full spectral scan of 3I Atlas. What it found only deepened the mystery. Its surface showed unexpected patterns of reflectivity metallic glints that didn't match the silicates or carbon compounds we see in asteroids. Some data suggested structured geometry, like flat planes reflecting sunlight at consistent angles. At first, scientists thought it might be a coincidence, maybe an artifact of the telescope's angle. But as 3I Atlas rotated, those reflections repeated in predictable intervals as if the object had symmetrical surfaces. Then came something even stranger, a faint radio emission detected by the Deep Space Network, perfectly timed with Webb's observations. It was incredibly weak, barely distinguishable from the background noise of space, but it pulsed with a rhythmic consistency that seemed anything but natural. The signal lasted for 47 seconds, and it was never heard again. When news of the signal first broke, the public was buzzing, but NASA stayed silent. They refused to comment. Astronomers who had seen the data urged everyone to be cautious. Just because two things happen at the same time, they said, doesn't mean one caused the other. Space is filled with strange coincidences, pulsars spinning like cosmic lighthouses, energetic cosmic rays, and even interference from our own sun. But the timing was just too perfect to ignore. For weeks, the internet went wild. Online forums and amateur astronomy groups were filled with theories. Some were convinced it was an artificial signal, a message from an alien civilization. Others thought 3I Atlas might be a piece of an ancient probe, tumbling through space and catching the sunlight in rhythmic flashes like a cosmic disco ball. Meanwhile, the team behind the James Webb Space Telescope kept working, analyzing the data in secret. Rumors started to leak from internal reports. The object's path wasn't just changing. It seemed to be responding to something. Its acceleration wasn't steady. It was as if some force was nudging it along, sometimes pushing, sometimes holding back. Could it be the gravitational pull of other unseen objects in space? Maybe, but the more complicated the models got, the less likely those explanations seemed. By the middle of 2025, something new emerged from the data. The trajectory models were all starting to point to the same incredible conclusion. If 3I Atlas kept on its current path, it was headed for an unusually close flyby of Earth. Not a direct hit, but close enough to get a really good look. We're talking about 7.5 million kilometers away. In cosmic terms, that's practically our backyard. For astronomers, this was the opportunity of a lifetime, a chance to study an interstellar visitor up close and personal. But for the rest of us, it raised much deeper, more existential questions. What if we weren't just watching a visitor? What if it was watching us back? It's a thought that has haunted us ever since we sent our first radio signals out into the void nearly a century ago. Every TV show, every radar ping, every message we've ever broadcast has been rippling out into the cosmos at the speed of light. Somewhere, something might have heard us. And maybe, after all this time, something decided to come and see who was making all that noise. Then scientists tried something fascinating. They traced 3I Atlas's journey backward, trying to figure out where it came from. The path led them to a region of space near the constellation Lyra, and here's where it gets really weird. That's the same direction that Oumuamua, our first interstellar visitor, came from. Coincidence? Maybe, but Lyra is also home to Vega, one of the brightest stars in our sky and a prime target for SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. For years, we've wondered if a planet around Vega could support life. Could both of these strange interstellar objects have come from the same star system? Or at least passed through the same neighborhood of space? The odds of two completely unrelated, bizarre objects following similar paths from the same patch of sky seem incredibly small. This led some researchers to whisper a new, radical theory away from the media and public announcements. What if these objects aren't separate things at all? What if they're fragments of the same, much larger parent structure that once traveled through that region of space? If that's true, then 3I Atlas isn't just a rock, it might be a messenger or what's left of one. As you can imagine, once these rumors started to spread, public fascination exploded. Social media was flooded with incredible artistic renderings of a sleek alien spacecraft shining in the sun. News channels held heated debates about whether it could really be extraterrestrial. Through it all, NASA tried to keep a level head. Their official statements were careful, always describing 3I Atlas as a natural interstellar object that was just behaving in ways we couldn't yet explain. But behind the scenes, a global effort was taking shape. Observatories all over the world started working together to track the object around the clock. The European Space Agency even floated a truly audacious idea to build and launch a fast intercept mission. The goal? To chase down 3I Atlas and get clear, direct images before it disappeared back into the darkness of deep space. They called the concept Project Messenger, and the plan was to use next-generation solar sails to catch up to the interstellar traveler. The proposal is still being reviewed, but if it gets the green light, it would be humanity's first attempt to physically reach out and touch something from another star system. So why does this one object, 3I Atlas, matter so much? It's not just about whether it's a natural rock or an artificial probe. It's about what it represents. For the very first time, we're starting to understand that interstellar space isn't empty. It's a cosmic highway filled with debris, fragments, and maybe even the ruins of civilizations that vanished long ago. Every one of these objects is a time capsule from another world, carrying the chemical fingerprints of alien suns and just possibly evidence of intelligence. Whether 3I Atlas is a rock, a relic, or something else entirely, its strange behavior is forcing us to rethink everything we thought we knew about how the universe works. More than that, it's a powerful reminder that we are part of a living, moving galaxy one filled with cosmic wanderers. Maybe its changing course isn't random at all. Maybe it's just reacting to forces we don't understand yet, like gravitational waves, fields of dark matter, or huge currents of interstellar plasma. Or maybe, on a scale we can barely imagine, something guided it here on purpose. Just for a moment, let's imagine that 3I Atlas really is artificial. A probe or a piece of a structure built by a civilization millions of years ago. What would that mean for us? It wouldn't just prove we're not alone. It would prove that others existed long before we did, traveling between the stars while our ancestors were still living in caves. It would suggest that intelligence isn't a rare fluke, it's an inevitable outcome of the universe. But it would also open up a whole new set of profound questions. If these ancient civilizations existed, where are they now? Did they die out? Did they evolve into something beyond our comprehension? Or did they, just like us, send their creations out into the dark, hoping that someone someday would find them? And if 3I Atlas is one of those creations, then maybe we're the ones receiving a message, not the other way around. As the James Webb Telescope continues its silent watch, astronomers are updating their models every single day. The object's brightness keeps fluctuating, hinting that it might be tumbling end over end. Each flash of reflected sunlight brings a new clue, each data point a whisper from the stars. No one can say for sure where 3I Atlas will go next. Its path is still unpredictable, its true nature a mystery. But one thing is certain. The universe is far stranger, more dynamic, and more alive than we ever dared to imagine. We often look up at the night sky and feel small, isolated. But discoveries like this remind us that our story is just one chapter in a much larger cosmic saga, one that's been unfolding for billions of years. Somewhere, across that infinite darkness, Another civilization might have looked up at their own sky and wondered the exact same thing we do. Are we alone? Now, perhaps carried by 3IA Teles, their answer is drifting towards us. In the end, maybe 3I Atlas isn't a threat or a herald of an alien visit. Maybe it's simply a reminder, a piece of cosmic memory, crossing the vast abyss to tell us that everything we build, everything we dream, leaves a trace. And if an ancient civilization sent something into the void not to conquer or explore, but simply to endure, then 3I Atlas might be their message to us. A message that even across impossible distances and spans of time, something of who we are can survive. As James Webb continues to watch, humanity holds its breath. The object drifts silently onward, its path bending through the solar system, the sun glinting faintly off its mysterious surface. Whether it's a rock, a relic, or a messenger, it carries within it the story of another world, and the unspoken question that drives all of science. What if we are not the first? The stars have watched us for eons. Now, perhaps one of them is coming home. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into the unknown as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more explorations into the biggest questions of our universe.